I thought it was about time I made a video about this because, in my opinion, um, mental illness is one of the least talked about things in modern society these days. And I've struggled with a multitude of things throughout my entire life, primarily anxiety. And when I say anxiety, I mean severe anxiety, unrelatable to the regular person. And probably the easiest way to explain it would be when you have severe anxiety. That's not the only thing I have, but this is just one of the things. But when you have severe anxiety, a lot of people think that they can relate because maybe they have a stressful job, they have something else going on with their life. Everybody experiences anxiety. The funny thing is, some people experience anxiety, then they don't even realize that they're experiencing it, and I have to tell them, you're fucking feeling anxious right now. But that's, yeah, for the regular person, how I would describe it is, take something extremely stressful, say an exam where your future depended on it. I mean something where you need to go take a dump right before it, something you need to, you're stressing, you're trying to cram right before the exam, you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Take that feeling, multiply it by, I don't know, 100, 1,000, a million, something like that, and that's severe anxiety. I mean, it's almost difficult to explain. It's almost everything you encounter, everything. I mean, just from waking up in the morning to making a coffee, or your your morning routine doesn't go as planned, and then suddenly you're anxious, and that just keeps progressing in your life. And that what I just talked about was very minor. That's a very, very minor incident. But then you go up the rung and up the rung, and the more stressful situations you encounter, the worse the anxiety becomes. And it gets to a point for what happened to me. What would happen would be, I would try and get my life in order, and I would work actually extremely hard. I would be very hardworking, but I could only keep it up for so long until I just completely burnt out and everything fell apart. I would have a panic attack. I would retreat. I would retreat into myself, retreat away, retreat into video games, retreat into drugs, retreat into alcohol, retreat into smoking again, just anything to take the anxiety away. Anything. Suicide. I mean, I've tried to commit suicide more times than I can count by now. And that's a whole other level of that's just a whole other level. But the main reason why I made this video is that I've been watching a lot of Jordan Peterson, and while it's immensely helped with my understanding of life and psychology and the way we are, and archetypes and hierarchies, and it's just all fascinating. I love the man. But I remember there's a specific lecture he gave in one of his classes where he's talking about men who aren't working, and especially once you get to an older age. I'm 30 years old, and I'm about to hit 31 in what is the fucking... Yeah, it's June right now. So it's the 1st of June. So in 2 months' time, I'll be 31. Right now, I work 1 day a week. And I've only had one full-time job. Well, technically 2 full-time jobs. But one full-time job for a long period of time in my life. Which I did it. It was extremely stressful, but it brought out some really obsessive, crazy tendencies in me. So right now, the last time I tried to work full time, it was actually a very good job, a very good offer, with very good promise for the future. And that was at a moment where I was pushing to try and get my life back on track. And what happened was, as soon as I started it, I had huge amounts of stress right off the bat, right from the interview. And it didn't go away. It just got worse and worse and worse until a week and a half later, I was going into work and my hands were quite literally shaking on the subway, shaking hard, and I was sweating. And I remember there was just this thought going in my head. I was thinking to myself, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I have to get out. I have to get out. I have to get out. So I went in to talk to that boss at the time, who was a young guy like me, and he was very, very understanding, for which I'm very, very, very grateful. Because I explained to him, I'm a pretty open person, so I explained to him all the problems I have been having. But ever since then, I've just been working 1 day a week. And the worst part about that is let me rephrase it. For 10 years, actually more than 10 years, over 10 years, I was not working at all. I still live with my parents, and I was living with my parents since I was around, since I was kicked out of university because I stopped going to classes, because I started trying hard in class and then, broke down, couldn't do it anymore, retreating into video games, smoking weed, waking up at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., having my lunch at, when everyone else was having my breakfast when everyone else was having their dinner. And I apologize, I'm on a medication right now where it kind of messes with my short and long-term memory. So I'll start a sentence and completely forget why I started it, or a line of thought and completely forget why I started it. Pretty hardcore medication as well. But yeah, the just not working every day, not just having no job, is extremely difficult. I mean, I know that working is very difficult, but having no job is just awful. I mean, truly, truly awful. You'll run into people, especially people you know. I mean, running into newer people is a bit easier. You can kind of bullshit your way around a little bit, or skirt around the subject, change it a little bit. But, you run into someone you know and they say, "What are you up to now?" Because, of course, as an adult, that's usually one of the first things. So, what are you up to now? What are you doing? And what are you doing means not, how are you having fun? What are your hobbies? It means, what are you doing? How are you making money? How are you advancing in life to become better, to make money? How are you grinding your life? And I would have to lie, or I would have to I would just basically have to lie most of the time, because there was just this deep shame to it, a very, very deep shame, an almost unbearable deep shame, and I couldn't deal with it. I mean, I used to be an extrovert, and then after I had my knee surgery, this is another mental disorder I have. It's called somatic symptom disorder. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but basically, it has something to do with the mind and the body connection. And my anxiety played a big role in exacerbating it. And basically, that was 2008 where I had my knee surgery. Actually, I believe December of 2007. And then, December of 2007, or around that time. And I was normal then. I met a girl during New Year's, and this was my first serious girlfriend. I was having an amazing time. I wasn't working. I just quit doing hard drugs. That's actually something I completely skirted over. I used to do a lot of hard drugs, meth, cocaine, ketamine, you name it. A lot of uppers, a lot of uppers. Things were starting to look up, but then I didn't rehab my knee properly, and I've had body issues all my life. I mean, right now I'm leaning forward so that I can talk into the camera, and my back is killing me. I mean, I'm actually in pain right now. Oh God, I'm sorry, I need to... Okay, that's better. Okay, I shouldn't pause when I'm doing this because I lose my train of thought. Um, I I developed somatic symptom disorder, and I tried going to a variety of psychiatrists who, putting it mildly, made it even worse because it was just not good therapy. And I did not know at the time that if you don't feel comfortable with your therapist, go to another one, and go to another one until you find someone who you are comfortable with. Because I was lying during a lot of my therapy, or the people who I were talking to, I didn't feel the same way because I have a very strange mind. I think really strangely. I've always been, I've never really had a brain to mouth filter. I've been described as been having massive amounts of ADHD by friends. And it causes problem with my body where I basically, probably the best description anyone's ever said about it was a professor I had. She said, "Graham, right now you look like a robot. Why do you move so funny?" And I explained to her, my problem. But I haven't been able to fix it. The medication I'm on has helped a little bit, but it's helped a lot. But it doesn't it doesn't completely fix it. So why don't I just go back to not working? So not working for all those years, or for the majority of those years, was just absolutely awful. I mean, you have no way to, filling a day without a job is really, really difficult. And of course, everybody right now, I imagine you're thinking, oh my God, I would so love to be able to just have, a day where I could, oh my God, if I could have a month off, I would be so happy. But no, it's not fucking like that. It's not like that. Wait until it's been years and years and years of not having a job, not doing anything, not earning any money, fucking having nothing to your name. It's depressing. It's, how many hours in the day? 14 to 16 hours in the day you're trying to fill up with video games, movies. I can hear 5 seconds of a movie right now, which I've watched maybe 10 or 15 times, and immediately be able to name the movie. And if it drives people in my family nuts, they'll be watching a movie, and I'll just walk up to them and just start saying lines from the movie before the lines come out, and then they'll say the exact line, and my family will just be like, oh God, what is wrong with you? My family's a bit more conservative, so obviously the whole not working thing is a big, not such a great thing. But I just want to make this video because right now I am working 1 day a week, and I am working. I started working out in 2016, right when I started taking the medication, and that helped a lot as well because I just started going crazy in the gym. I mean, I was, before that, 170 pounds. What in the bodybuilding community they call skinny fat. And right now I haven't worked out for almost 2 weeks because I started having problems with alcohol again, which, needless to say, yeah, bombs up. But yeah, this is why I shouldn't take breaks. I lost my train of thought again. Just so you're interested, this is clonazepam, the medication I'm taking. It's basically it's got a longer half-life, a longer acting version of something like Xanax. So it's a very strong anti-anxiety medication. But my God, it messes with your short-term, long-term memory like nothing I've ever experienced. But my functioning is a lot better in life. I mean, I can do things that I couldn't do before. But yeah, I was okay. The skinny fat, yeah. I was skinny. I was 170 pounds when I was 18. I used to be 145 pounds. I think during my drug days, my heavy drug days, I was probably around 140, maybe under. And at that time, I was 6'2". And because of my body problems, I've dropped down to maybe 6 foot. It varies during the day, but yeah, I got up to my highest weight, 220 pounds, and I deadlifted, my most recent deadlift was 200, that's nothing, sorry, 506 pounds, which for someone with back problems, a knee problem, a jaw problem, I mean, every single fucking problem under the sun, I mean, that's just a great lift. I mean, there's guys bigger than me in the gym who can't lift that amount of weight. So I was through the moon with that. But there's only, so many hours in the day you can put into working out. And I don't have the best genetics. I don't have the, I don't have the discipline to keep my body fat in check, and the discipline to, as you see right now, I'm drinking every so often. I go back to drinking. I mean, it's a problem I've had since I was, ever since this problem started. And right now I'm around a week and a half into drinking every single night. And as you can see from my red face, which is because I'm half Asian, by the way. But yeah, it's very, very depressing because because you know, I play this video game right now, World of Warcraft. It's a brilliant way to waste a huge amount of time. And you know, somebody just brought up the fact that I only work 1 day a week. Which I know to them is probably, it's just like a jab. You know, it's a short jab. You know, it's male bonding. I mean, breaking balls. That's what guys do. But it's just something I've struggled with all my life. Responsibility, hard work, and not really hard work. I know how to work hard, but I just have that anxiety root. But and also my deadlift is an advanced level deadlift, so I know a little bit about hard work. But my God, it just cuts to the core of me, and I'm sick of I'm sick of having to lie to people. I'm sick of sitting here in my room doing absolutely nothing. I mean, I do get to work 1 day a week and it feels great. I mean, I feel, well, some days I feel very satisfied from teaching. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that fact. But God, just some days I come back from work feeling accomplished. I did something. I did something. I changed some lives. I meant something in the world. But even on those good days, I am exhausted. I mean, I am completely dehydrated because I have kidney problems from doing meth and ketamine and all those things. I mean, serious. I don't know about kidney or bladder. I've never actually gotten it medically checked out properly. But I mean, bad problems where I need to run. I need to, book it to the bathroom. And it's hard to hold it in. And also, wearing light colored pants are a no-no. They need to be dark colored because sometimes, a little bit might come out. I mean, that's how difficult it is for me to control it right now. As you can see, I have no brain to mouth filter at all. But yeah, it's just that comment was so painful. It cut so deep. I mean, cut right to the bone. Right to the bone. And for many, many, many years, I've been thinking about posting on Facebook so that people who know me can actually understand what I'm going through, instead of just, oh yeah, Graham, he's not really doing anything, he's just like fucking around. He's not, because whenever I would go out, I'd be drinking with them, my friends, and then I'd seem like a very pleasant guy. I'd be a very fun guy to be around almost too fun to the point of choking people out. And recently choking out a friend, not choking out, but pushing my friend's jugular to the back of his throat and throwing 3 liver shots to my friends while we were all huddled around in a club dancing together. It's just great. But yeah, I think it's just about time that people knew. My God, has it really been 30 minutes? Oh, Jesus Christ. Nobody's gonna watch this fucking video. Yeah, my therapist tells me to try not to think of myself as being mentally ill. And I know he's right in a way, but in a way I know that, you know, there's wires loose in my head. This is a reference no one's gonna get, but I just watched a podcast with George St. Pierre, a very famous MMA fighter, and he was talking about how he was having some problems in his head, and he said it was like wires going, and that just, oh my God, what a guy! I love that guy. He was French Canadian as well, so you know you can imagine with the French Canadian accent. You know, I had some wires in my head, and they were, you know, yeah. It was just, it was fantastic. But that's another thing. That's one way I found to improve myself with these problems is just trying to take in as much meaningful media as possible. You know, like watching podcasts, the Joe Rogan experience. I mean, Joe Rogan, if you ever see this, you have, in a way, changed my mind on so many things, and I love you to death, man. I mean, I don't agree with everything you say. I just have to throw that out there because I don't want to be a dick rider. But you have changed so many things about the way I think. And Jordan Peterson, what an amazing man. And actually that reminds me back to a point which I never fully elaborated on, which was Jordan Peterson talking about men who are older and don't have a job. So he was saying at around 30 years old, that's already bad. That's bad. So 30 years old is around the time women are wanting to settle down. They want to start having babies at that point. You know, that's around the age, both men and women, I'm finding, at least here, that's around the age that people settle down. They find the person they want to be with, or they settle with the person they want to be with. Not gonna name any names out, but yeah. So I'm at that age where I have, you know, my bank account is depressing to look at, the balance, and I'm working part-time, so that means I don't have really a amazing position, I'm fairly competent at my job at most times, but a lot of the times I'm second guessing myself, and some of the things I I do with my job I don't think I'm very good at. Some things I think I'm good at, though. And there's a narcissistic part of me coming out. But, yeah, I guess it was just really important for me to make this video. Because the next part that Jordan Peterson talks about is the 40-year-old man who has nothing going on in his life. And I almost can't believe that I'm 30 years old right now. I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago that I was, well, it does feel like it was a long time ago, but it doesn't feel like that long, so long ago that I was in my 20s. And at least when you're in your 20s, you got that 2 at the front. That 2 in the front is pretty fucking important. Yeah, you can get away with some stuff, not really get away, but you can experiment, you can go do this, do that, you can explore with your life. Right now I'm at an age where I should be solidified in a job, and I should be is not the correct word, the terminology to use. It would be optimal, I would say. But he starts to talk about the 40-year-old man, and I started thinking, my God, what if I become that man? I don't know if there could be anything more depressing. I mean, I'm a 30-year-old man living with my parents. I mean, here it's not very uncommon for people to do that because there's just absolutely no space here. But it's for all the wrong reasons. I mean, if I was to right now go off and live by myself, I don't know, somewhere, anywhere, I would probably end up in a ditch within a week, dead, or I don't know, on the streets, or yeah, I know. I know for a fact. I know myself pretty well. And yeah, another reason why I wanted to make this video was because I was being invited out tonight by some friends, and one of them is my best friend from high school, and another one is a girl who I'm pretty sure she had a crush on me in high school. I don't know. I don't fucking know. And if I had gone out tonight, who knows? Who knows what the fuck would have happened? I'm just talking out of my ass right now. I apologize, girl who you know who you are. I apologize for that. But yeah, they invited me out, and I turned it down. I mean, because I know if I go out, I'll just drink more. I won't get enough sleep. And I will force myself to wake up at 5 a.m. just so that I can play this goddamn game. And I will... sorry, my back hurts. I will... yeah, I'll just... it's... I have work in 2 days' time, and it's almost like I need to have everything controlled and prepared before that time. If that makes sense. Yeah, that's my... I mean, that's a very, very short version of everything I've been through. And I can't believe I've been talking for 41 minutes. My God. I mean, I have a tendency to drone on, and I'm a little bit drunk right now, so probably I'm slurring my words and slowing the video a hell of a lot down. But I just think it's really important to put out there that, to me, mental illness is one of the biggest problems in the world right now that's not being discussed, or being discussed enough. I mean, we have fucking, Black Lives Matter, we have hashtag Me Too, we have everyone shitting on Trump, shitting on Hillary, shitting on everything. Everybody is concerned about their own little thing. And I know this is me being concerned about my own little thing. I wouldn't call it little, but this is me being concerned with my own agenda. But I take a look at the world, and I think back on some of the things that I've been through, and some of the things I've seen, and the things I still see. And mental illness is a huge, massive problem. Massive. I mean, just look at the shooters in the US. How many of them are on medication? It's just nuts. It's insane. That's actually one thing I'm quite disappointed about this video, is that I didn't manage to cry, because this meant... It's way too bright right now. Hold on, let me see what I can do. Well, no, that's not working. Let me see. No. This Richfill clonazepam. This stuff. Wait, why the fuck did I even bring it up? Yeah, you guys can see what's going on with my head. Oh, I remember now. This medication, it suppresses my anxiety, but it also suppresses other emotions as well. Makes me less empathetic, in a way. And funnily enough, it's actually made me less suicidal. As in, I haven't attempted to commit suicide since I think 2016, and right now it's 2018. So in around 2 years time. I think the last time I tried to commit suicide, I walked to the top of the IFC, the mall, that is, and I tried to get the courage to jump off, and ironically, I'm actually afraid of heights, so, couldn't fucking do it. I mean, the first time I tried to commit suicide, I came a lot closer. I didn't really. I tried combining these pills with alcohol, and I didn't really, it was a spur of the moment thing. I was under massive duress, massive anxiety, so I kind of messed up the dosages, I guess, but I did end up going to hospital and having the longest dissociative experience in my life. I think it was around 2 weeks' time. I guess I can talk about dissociation another time. That's something else I suffer from. But not since I've been on this, funnily enough. But if you notice throughout the video, I've started tearing up a little bit, but I never actually cried. That's because of this medication, and in a way that's a good thing, because it means that it's keeping my emotions under control. But in a way it's awful, because sometimes forget about Louis C.K.'s he didn't rape anyone, but forget about his sexual misconduct allegations. Just forget about that for a moment. He had this amazing bit when he went on a talk show where he was just talking about hearing a song on the radio, some Bruce Springsteen song, and just pulling over in his car and just crying, and how the bit goes is you cry, and then your body meets the sadness almost with antibodies, and then you feel happy, you feel ecstatic. And that's actually true in a way. I've always found that to be the case. I mean, one of the greatest things you can do is just cry your heart out. That actually reminds me of a song I used to listen to before I would go up and try and jump off the roof, which was Stop Crying Your Heart Out by Oasis. It's a nice slow song, depressing sounding, it's good to get into the mindset, oh, woe is me, go jump off the building, life is over. But yeah, I haven't cried in a while. I mean, even with really sad movies, I haven't been able to cry. And I would give anything just for a good weep session. Just smash some things a little bit, just yell, scream, make my voice hoarse, go red in the face, redder than this, and just, clench my muscles and scream at the top of my voice, and just surrender to the feeling I have, but I can't right now. But I can still feel depressed, and I can still feel anxious, and I can still feel the somatic symptom disorder, and I can still feel hopeless, and I can still feel wounds, and I can still feel everything. And the last thing I want to say, something I was thinking about before was, or I've been thinking about, is words don't. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I've been on both sides of that. I ruptured my ACL. When I was younger, I smashed my lower jaw, and that screwed up my jaw, my TMJ, temporal mandibular joint, and now I have TMJD, temporal mandibular joint disorder. I have hyperkyphosis. I mean, I've seen a spine specialist who's diagnosed me with Sherman's disease. I have a problem with my knee valgus. Both of my knees have are valgus. I have to have special insoles in my shoes, which means I have to wear my shoes at all times. And God damn, it's just on and on. And I better stop this video. It's starting to turn into a long-winded rant. It was a long-winded rant 30 minutes ago. But I just really want to say that Jordan Peterson is correct. He's absolutely correct. I'm probably a prime example of exactly what he's talking about. And also, it is just difficult trying to get through life with a mental illness and seeing so many opportunities pass you by. And not being able to act on them because you're so fucked up. Well, I'm starting to cry. I mean, it's just the worst feeling in the world. I mean, I've been in a living hell, and I can't get out of it, and that's why I'm trying to commit suicide so many times, and I'm sorry. It's just really important that the world knows, and fucking people I know, and that I don't know. I mean, who fucking knows? Maybe this will get 50 views. Maybe this could change the minds of someone. But, there are people with serious problems who are seriously struggling, and there's almost nothing we can do. I mean, you try and say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get your life in order. But, it's fucking difficult, man. I mean, I tried so many times to get my life in order, and I've just failed over and over again. And see, Oh my god. So, yeah, man, to all my friends and my family, that this is why I am the way I am. And I really hope you made it to the to the last part of this video, because probably the last 5 minutes of this video has been more enlightening than more than the first 50 minutes. But if you made it to the end, props to you. I mean, I don't know how you put up with me for that long. Peace.